We love to give and to help others, but also it makes my heart happy to know that we're teaching our children to step up and not think about themselves.
News 3 WSIL. Here's what's happening right now.
Good Wednesday morning. Tracking a big bright full moon this morning. Also a big cool down in the forecast. Have the latest coming up.
Making news headlines, a local health department says it's ready to stick hundreds of booster shots in residents' arms. We've got you covered.
We love to give and to help others, but also it makes my heart happy to know that we're teaching our children to step up and not think about themselves.
A third grader from Saline County is using his birthday to teach others it's better to give than receive.
We've got you covered. From WSIL, this is News 3 This Morning.
Good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, October 20th. I'm Dave Davis.
And I'm Evie Allen, and we're so glad you decided to join us today. Storm Track 3 meteorologist Nick Housen also here. Good morning, Nick. Thank you so much for being with us, too.
Yeah, good morning, and hopefully you guys are having a great morning. It's a little warmer outside, but probably still need a jacket. Just maybe something a little lighter than the last couple of mornings. We're not back in the upper 30s, but we are back into the upper 40s. So winds overnight, staying out of the south, keeping temperatures up just a bit. We've got some big changes on the way, though. 51 currently in Marion, 45 in Carbondale and in Mount Vernon. Harrisburg down to 46, Paducah at 52, and Cape Girardeau, you're at 49 degrees right now. We do expect another warm and breezy day. We're going to stay dry through the daylight hours. Clouds begin to increase late this afternoon. The breeze picks up today from the south. Upper 70s for high temperatures, but we're tracking another cold front. I'll tell you what it means for our region coming up.
Well, in our top stories this morning, we're working to learn more about a motel fire in Mount Vernon.
That's right. News 3 viewers sent us this video of the fire. It happened last night around 5:30 at the Economy Inn, an extended stay hotel in Mount Vernon. We spoke with Mount Vernon Fire Chief Kevin Sargent, whose crew put out that fire. He says they've been in contact with American Red Cross about finding homes for displaced residents. There have been no injuries reported, thankfully. Now, the state fire marshal is investigating the cause.
Well, we have new information about a car fire in Carterville. It happened on eastbound Route 13 near the Veterans Bridge overpass. The Carterville Fire Department says the driver was going down the road when he heard a loud bang. That's when smoke started pouring out of the car. The driver was not hurt, and our crew on scene says firefighters put the fire out pretty quickly. It did close eastbound 13 for about half an hour.
Well, a Franklin County man is missing. You need to keep your eyes open for this man. Take a look at the picture. Police say 34-year-old Joshua Brock hasn't been seen since Saturday afternoon. He was leaving his home in Orient, and his family says they haven't spoken to him since, and his phone is off, and this is uncharacteristic, they say. If you have any information, you need to call the Franklin County Sheriff's Department.
Well, COVID-19 booster shots will soon be available to more people. Illinois officials say they're doing everything they can to help with the rollout.
That's right. IDPH partnered with several state agencies to increase education on how a third shot provides additional protection against the virus. Authorities say they'll also work with nursing homes to help administer the booster to residents. Currently, the third shot is only available for certain groups of people. That includes those over the age of 65 and those 18 and older with underlying health conditions and people working in high-risk settings such as educators and first responders. Yesterday during a press conference, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker says the extra assistance from state leaders will help bring Illinois out of the pandemic.
COVID-19 vaccines, if you haven't yet gotten one, you should get one because it might just save a life. Get your booster shot so that you can get even more protected than you are today. Get your flu shot so you can make this flu season as non-existent as the last. And let's get out of this pandemic. We can do it by continuing to work together for the common good.
The Illinois Department of Public Health says 18% of Illinoisans 65 and older have gotten the booster. The CDC will review booster recommendations this week. Final authorization is expected by the end of the week.
Now, according to the Southern 7 Health Department, they should have enough doses to meet the demand, but they cannot start giving out those doses until authorization comes to the FDA and the CDC. Then approval has to go through the Illinois Department of Public Health and make its way to the medical director of the health department. Only then can boosters be administered by nurses at health departments.
Have the vaccine. We just want to make sure that we're doing everything the right way and that there's a process that we have to follow, to make sure that it's safe and effective and that our medical director, is in line with that thinking too. So yeah, it's good to say that we might be able to do it on Friday, but more than likely, on the health department level, it'll probably be sometime next week when we'll be able to give those booster shots.
Southern 7 also says the expected authorization of the Pfizer vaccine for kids 5 to 11 years old will also impact vaccine distribution.
Well, Governor J.B. Pritzker hopes the indoor mask mandate can be lifted before the holidays. That's because new daily case rates are falling. Governor Pritzker says that could mean we may be able to lose the mask altogether, but there's no timeline as to when that might happen.
Well, the Illinois veto session is underway in Springfield. Yesterday, lawmakers with the Joint Committee of Administrative Rules met to discuss the next round of Back to Business grants. The $250 million program doles out grants for small businesses hit hardest by COVID-19. A member of the Illinois Department of Commerce says the state gave out around $50 million. Lawmakers noted those grants were unavailable to businesses starting on or after January 1st of last year. The Commerce Department's Deputy Counsel General Kama Sharp says they're working on the second round of grants focusing on those businesses.
The amount of funds should be small to reach as many businesses as possible, or the funds should be big enough to at least assist businesses to stay open.
Sharp says there are about $50 million set aside to develop grants for startups and businesses that fill vacant buildings in downtown areas.
Illinois gubernatorial candidate Paul Schimpf spoke with manufacturers in southern Illinois yesterday toward General Cable in DuQuoin in support of Manufacturers Month. It's the city's largest single employer. Schimpf says the plant is not only vital to the surrounding economy, but to the greater success of the region. He says Illinois needs to invest more in skilled labor, which in turn will be an investment in the community.
There are so many manufacturers here that are looking to hire more people. This plant would certainly like to hire more people. And this is something that Illinois needs to invest in. We need to make sure that we have a skilled labor force because we already have the infrastructure and the resources and the location. If we can get skilled labor, I really think that this region can take off.
The facility also helps with food drives and supports the local Special Olympics.
Well, Missouri wants local governments to sign the state's largest victim-centric settlement in its history. It's $500 million with Johnson & Johnson and other major opioid distributors. But without participation from local governments, Missouri could lose half of those potential funds. The funding from the settlement won't go to the state, though. It'll go toward treatment and other services for people who are addicted to opioids.
We want to make sure that we're putting the tools in the hands of those who can help real people. We've got a unique opportunity here to go and do something about the addiction that's affecting so many Missourians. and make sure that folks have the resources to help fight addiction. And that's why it's so important that we get this settlement.
The deadline for local governments to sign the settlement is January 3rd.
The commission investigating the Capitol insurrection voted unanimously to hold Steve Bannon in contempt of Congress. Bannon is a close ally of former President Donald Trump. In a 26-page report, the committee alleges he had specific knowledge about the events planned for January 6th before they occurred. He also ignored a subpoena asking him to turn over documents related to the investigation.
Mr. Bannon stands alone in his complete defiance of our subpoena. That's not acceptable. No one in this country, no matter how wealthy or how powerful, is above the law.
Tomorrow, the House will vote on holding Bannon in criminal contempt. After that, it'll be up to the Justice Department to decide whether to prosecute the case.
Well, it's being described as a miracle. Nobody is hurt after a private plane flying from Houston, Texas to Boston, Massachusetts exploded. Everyone escaped, even the youngest passenger, a 10-year-old boy. A video circulating on social media shows the plane getting ready to take off from the runway. Before it took off, smoke can be seen leaving one of its engines. Investigators say the plane may have struck a fence. While evacuating, passengers say they're grateful to still be alive.
I was sitting here and I saw in the rearview mirror, I just saw it go boom, and it was a big orange explosion.
That was a witness there. And again, the plane was headed to Boston for last night's baseball playoff game. The NTSB is investigating what caused the fire.
And I'm looking at that, wondering how everybody survived. That's incredible.
That's amazing.
But, you know, checking out this morning, well, check out the eastern sky, and you may get to see the full hunter's moon. It is shining bright up there. I almost thought that somebody had left a light on outside because it was just so bright coming through the windows this morning. There it is, a live view actually from our studio looking back into the eastern sky. And again, that is the full hunter's moon, the last full moon as well before Halloween. This evening, we'll actually also have a glimpse of the Orionid, I have a hard time saying that, the Orionid meteor shower. That will also peak tonight. We will be tracking some clouds as another cold front crashes into the region. Tell you more on that coming up.
Thank you. Now we're going to check in with Brooke, who's live in Marion this morning.
That's right. She's giving us a sneak peek at an event bringing some family-friendly spooks to Redline Park.
Yeah, good morning, Abby and Dave. Well, in less than 2 weeks, this parking lot will be filled with trick-or-treaters. Our details on how you can join in on that fun coming up after the break. Stay with us.
Well, the Marion Police Department is bringing back its Halloween Spooktacular after last year had to be canceled over COVID-19.
It's a chance for families to get out for some fun and not have to worry about the cost. Since the entire event is free, Brooks Lyer is live with what visitors can expect.
Yeah, good morning. Having a day. Well, right now I'm at Rentwen Park, and this is where the event will be taking place on October 30th. Now, organizers tell me both children and parents can expect a hauntingly good time. The Marion Police Department is bringing back its Halloween Spooktacular, which as Dave just said had to be canceled last year because of COVID. This is the 5th year of the event, which got started by a detective and began small at the station's parking lot. Now thousands of kids put on their favorite costumes, head to Rentwen Park, and get ready for lots of trunks and treats. Police Chief David Fitz says the kiddos are full of energy and excitement, and probably lots of sugar too, when they come out and bring a smile to officers.
They're really shocked by everything they see, and they're having a great time. They love coming up and talking to the officers, and then the people in the costumes, they like seeing them and talking to them. So it's really fun to watch.
The chief went on to say this is a great way for locals to meet first responders and get to know them in a fun and lighthearted atmosphere. There's still the need for some help, including volunteers, as well as locals and businesses who want to decorate a car or table and give out candy. Now, again, this event is on October 30th with a rain out date the next day of October 31st. So there's still plenty of time to get signed up and involved. And of course, I'll have that information on our website a little later this morning. That's WSILTV.com under News 3 this morning. Now back to you in the studio.
I'll bet it's a nice morning to be out there.
It is a very nice morning. In fact, not as cold as what we have been maybe the last couple of days to start this morning. And you still probably need a jacket. We've got temperatures back into the 40s in a few spots. We've had a light south breeze overnight and not keeping any fog around overnight. And of course, keeping temperatures warmer than average for this time of year. A live view there from Poplar Bluff, Missouri. And we've got temperatures back in the mid to upper 40s, 46 degrees. That breeze at times has been blowing as high as about 5 miles per hour. But today's going to be a windy day. Those winds stay out of the south, and that is going to usher in the warmest day of the week coming up. We do expect temperatures today to be into the upper 70s, and the daylight hours will be dry. We will be tracking a chance for a couple showers late tonight as our next cold front comes into the region. It's going to sweep on through tonight, and looking ahead to then Thursday and Friday, well, temperatures dropping back below average. Still not a big cool down though, and we're going to bounce right back later this weekend as more rain chances also return back into our forecast. This morning though, 46 in Mount Vernon. Meanwhile in Marion, you're at 51, Cape at 49, Paducah at 52 degrees, Poplar Bluff there at 46, Fredericktown, Missouri currently at 51. We've got clear skies overhead, tracking a few clouds now starting to show up in our far western counties there. And again, we do expect the daylight hours to remain dry. Rain still well to our west and northwest. High pressure sitting across the Tennessee Valley. Winds today out of the south will be quite strong as we watch this cold front make its way through the plains. And actually, this is quite a cold front. The cooler air making its way down the western side of the plains. Look at that snow flying up into South Dakota this morning. We will see some of that cooler air make its way into our neck of the woods over the next 24 hours. Rapid City, South Dakota down to 32 this morning. North Platte, Nebraska at 42. Denver, Colorado though at 28. And we'll see some of that cooler air again arrive over the next 24 hours. Out ahead of that front though this afternoon, up to about 75 in Mount Vernon, 76 in Harrisburg, 77 today into Paducah. And if we see any showers that develop along the front, they will start to make their way into southwest Illinois, parts of southeast Missouri closer to midnight. These are very hit and miss. We're not expecting everybody to see rain tonight. If you get caught in one, it's probably just going to be enough to wet the roads and then they pass on by. Most of those showers then fade away quickly into the early morning hours on Thursday. As the cold front moves through, temperatures drop back into the 50s to start Thursday morning, and then Thursday afternoon, winds will be out of the west and northwest, and that will keep temperatures a little cooler with highs only into the mid to upper 60s. Winds again today upwards of about 20 mile per hour gusts from the south. So if you've got some fall decorations outside, may want to secure those, especially some of those inflatables. Looking ahead to Thursday, again, we still expect a pretty strong breeze there on Thursday afternoon, but the winds will be out of the west and northwest. And that northwest wind will keep temperatures back upper 60s for highs Thursday and Friday. We'll quickly bounce back though. By Saturday, we're right back up to about 70, and then through the second half of the weekend, early part part of next week. Even warmer temperatures still in the forecast. Make sure you've got that Storm Track 3 app, keeping up to date no matter where you are with the forecast. We'll see morning low temperatures into the 40s there Friday and Saturday morning. By the end of the weekend, wet weather chances go up, especially Saturday night and into Sunday. I think if you've got plans Saturday during the day, you're good to go at this point. But by Saturday night, we do expect some showers to make their way into the region. That's a warm front lifting across the region, and we do expect some warm temperatures behind it. Mid-70s Monday and Tuesday. The cold front will come through likely towards the middle of next week, and we'll see another drop in temperatures, but a lot of readings there in our 7 and our 10-day forecast, still well above average here for the second half of October.
Wonder how many pools are still open.
I think I've seen a few. Boy, I don't know, 67 for high. That's a little chilly there to be getting into water, though.
It is.
Thank you, Nick. Well, this week's Unsung Hero takes us to Saline County, where an 8-year-old is using his birthday to help others. The Fall Frenzy Car Show was this past Sunday, featuring 78 different cars. But it wasn't just about the hot rods and classics. The event was also a fundraiser to help those in need. Graham Finney turns 9 on November 2nd, and this year he wanted to use his birthday to support the homeless, food pantries, and Children's Christmas. The event also had live music, vendors, a 50-50 and other raffles, and donation collection. Graham's mom, Stacy, has taught all 4 of her children that it's not about receiving, but more about giving. Graham says he was moved to help the homeless after seeing a lot of people living in tents. He also loves cars, so he thought this was an event people would enjoy.
There was a bunch of people showing up, a bunch of cool cars. Some people even let me sit in it and turn their car on.
Since they've been old enough to do this, we ask them every year for their birthday, what type of charities would you like to give to, and we give them different ideas. So Graham has he always comes up with several different ideas. We've done food pantry turkey dinners in the past, where we've done a full meal of turkey dinners. We've done, he wanted to do a Christmas party for the nursing home one time, so we had a full Christmas party for the residents of the nursing home.
Oh, awesome. Well, Graham also got to help with the judging, and Stacy says her children have good hearts and love helping people. She says they collected about $3,400 plus 10 overflowing boxes of non-perishable food items, toys, blankets, and clothes. Now, she says it took a lot of volunteers to put on, and she's thankful for all who showed their support. She especially wanted to thank Mike and Joni Sullivan and their family, Remington Church, and SIC's welding and automotive classes for making the trophies. Stacy has a daughter who will turn 8 in April, and she's already thinking about who or what she plans to do. So this is something that they've pretty much taught their children to do, so like holidays and birthdays. So I love this idea. I've never seen this before, so it's actually quite different.
It is, and
I love it.
And it really says something a lot about these kids. They're, hey, we want to give for our birthdays. Don't give to us. We want to give to others.
We've been featuring a lot of pretty amazing kids this year.
Yes, we have. Not even
pretty awesome.
Turning 9 years old and already just doing wonderful things. They're good.
I like the cars too.
I like the cars too as well, and the tractors. Well, good stuff. Well, who is your unsung hero? Nominate that person by going to our website, wsiltv.com/unsung. And then tell us, how are they making a difference? And as you see, we will reveal new unsung heroes every Wednesday right here on News 3 this morning. So good stuff. Glad you were able to find that one. Well, still to come, you'll soon be forking out more money for some of your favorite Procter & Gamble products.
We'll tell you why after the break. Well, Procter & Gamble says it's raising prices on a wide range of everyday items.
Yeah, ABC's Kaylee Hartung has the details in today's GMA First Look.
The American people want us to act, and I think we're going to have to aggressively come together to do that.
WSIL. Here's what's happening right now.
Good Wednesday morning, tracking a cold front that could bring us some rain and a cool down. I'll have the latest coming up.
Making news headlines, lawmakers say there's a progress on the U.S. infrastructure bill. We've got you covered with the latest from Capitol Hill.
Plus, some want to repeal Illinois' parental notification law to ensure access to abortions.
We've got you covered. From WSIL, this is News 3 This Morning.
Happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Evie Allen.
And I'm Dave Davis, joined by Storm Track 3 meteorologist Nick Housen. And Nick, this weather, you step outside, it almost feels like it would be August weather.
Well, you know, we've got temperatures right now, upper 40s, low 50s. And actually, that is quite a bit warmer than we have been maybe the last few mornings. But, you know, we are tracking another cold front on the way. It is, yeah, it's more of a cool front than a cold front. But live view from Mount Vernon this morning, and there you go. You probably still need a jacket this morning, a little on the cool side. Back in the mid 40s in a few spots. Carbondale, Mount Vernon, Harrisburg, all reporting 45 degrees. Marion, that's still at 51. Paducah, you're at 52. Cape at 49 degrees. And we've had a breeze through the overnight hours from the south. That's one of the things that has kept our temperatures warmer than maybe the last couple of mornings. We expect clear skies to start the day. A few more clouds around this afternoon, but we're dry through the daylight hours. Mid to upper 70s for high temperatures. That breeze will pick up from the south, some gusts 20 miles per hour or so this afternoon. I'm tracking some rain chances on the way along that front tonight. I'll tell you more about how much rain to expect and the cool down heading our way as well coming up.
All right, thanks for that, Nick. Well, lawmakers are being pressured to approve President Joe Biden's bipartisan infrastructure bill and his border spending package.
Today, President Joe Biden invited moderate and progressive Democrats to the White House. He hopes to find common ground to build a better back plan for the bill. After several months of disagreements and delays, leaders from both groups are now starting to make progress.
The American people want us to act, and I think we're going to have to aggressively come together to do that.
Senator Bernie Sanders previously, quote, wrote an op-ed against Congressman Joe Manchin. Now, in retaliation, Manchin referred to him as a socialist and an out-of-stater. Now the two appear to be on good terms and working together.
Now, the Department of Defense unveiled penalties for its civilian workers not following COVID-19 mandates. They say workers not following the mandate could face serious repercussions, including a 2-week suspension without pay or even termination. Workers with vaccination exemptions aren't subject to the mandate. November 22nd is the deadline to receive the vaccine.
Well, the Illinois fall veto session resumes today. During last night's session, a group of Senate Republicans denounced Democrats over the Parental Notice of Abortion Act of 1995. It gives parents of girls under 17 a 48-hour notice before doctors can perform an abortion. Republicans say they want to remove the law. State Senators Terry Bryant, Sue Rezin, Sally Turner, and Jill Tracy argued removing P&A puts minors in danger. Now, they say Democrats are unfairly comparing this law to recent abortion laws passed in Texas.
I will not sit silently by as Democrat lawmakers seek to tie the hands of parents, allowing children to undergo such an important decision without the parents' knowledge.
Senator Bryant says the law helps adolescents who are unprepared to handle the consequences of abortion. Meanwhile, Democrats say this isn't about abortion rights. It's about a parent's right to be informed, not be kept in the dark. So far, no bill has been introduced to remove that law.
A federal judge in Chicago ruled the legislative maps drawn in June are unconstitutional. The court will now take a closer look at the maps passed in September. Democrats will be allowed to defend the maps, while the Mexican civil rights group that filed the suit can submit new changes by November 8th. A local IT expert weighs in on how businesses can protect their equipment.
This comes in light of a recent ransomware attack on Sinclair Broadcast Group. James Mayer from Mayer Networks says IT administrators should explore all avenues to secure their networks. That includes creating a disaster plan, blocking malicious sites, and reminding employees not to open suspicious emails.
Businesses in general just need, frankly, they need the budget in order to protect themselves appropriately. They should get audited regularly. They should have checkups on their network health regularly. A lot of these things come down to the actual IT administrator to implement.
So far, there have been at least 2 major ransomware attacks in the U.S. this year.
And we have continuing coverage of a fire at a storage facility in Carterville. Last night, we talked with LaShonda Hughes, a tenant renting a storage unit there. She lost her 1972 Pontiac Ventura in the fire. It was showcase ready. Now it's been in several shows, even winning second place in one. She tells us she's disappointed her Pontiac is damaged.
They just don't make cars like this anymore, so I'm very not very hopeful that I'll find another one. I'm still in disbelief, but you know, reality is starting to set in now that I know that now it is no more.
Hughes owned that car for around 6 years. Luckily, she says it was fully covered by her insurance.
Speaking of insurance, experts say having it can save you time and stress when recovering your property from any kind of disaster. They say when contacting your insurance agent, make sure to ask about things that may not be covered under their policy. Once you have that information, experts say you should take inventory of all of your belongings. That's so it'll be easier to file a claim if you ever need to.
It's a daunting task to have to document all of those things. But if you don't, and the worst does happen, you've got no record of what you have. You know, unfortunately, insurance companies are not just going to go, well, just because you said you had these things at this value, you're going to be covered.
Now, experts also say you should keep copies and backups of your receipts or photos in case they get destroyed.
Good advice there. Well, this morning there is more food in some folks' pantry. There was a giveaway at the Murfreesboro Youth and Recreation Center. They held their mobile market. The giveaway is held on the third Tuesday of each month. Yesterday, volunteers gave away around 14,000 pounds of food, helping to feed more than 500 families. With rising grocery prices, organizers say it makes a big difference for families in the region.
People are so thankful. They need it. They want it. So, I mean, really, we've been doing this for years.
Food giveaway is made possible through the St. Louis Food Bank. The organization distributes food across 26 counties in Missouri and Illinois.
Well, Renderman Orchards is holding a special event where you can give back. It's called Pups in the Patch, a costume contest for your dog. Pre-registration is $5, or you can register at the event for $8. Proceeds benefit St. Francis Care in Murfreesboro.
Well, it's awesome that we got selected. And, you know, we've said this many, many times before, the amount of community support we get is just amazing, and we love it. The money will go for, you know, feeding these guys. We've got about 125 dogs here right now.
There'll also be prizes and vendors at the event. It takes place this Sunday from noon to 3, with the contest taking place at 2.
Maybe not getting the coffee quite as hot this morning and off to a milder morning. Probably still need a light jacket or a sweatshirt to get the day going. We do expect a lot of sunshine to start the day, but as clouds begin to increase, the wind will also begin to increase this afternoon. So weather be given today's weather grade a B. We do expect a very warm afternoon. This morning, upper 40s and lower 50s. We're talking about high temperatures today, though, mid to upper 70s. Today's allergy index, the mold count, still the top allergen. However, we are tracking also some grass counts starting to climb back up as we've dealt with some dry weather over the last couple of days. Big cold front arrives tonight. I'll tell you more about rain chances along that front coming up.
Thank you, Nick. Now we're going to check in with Brooke, who is live in Marion this morning.
That's right. Just a few minutes ago, she was at Rent One Park. Now she's moved locations. Brooke, where are you?
Yeah, good morning, Evie and Dave. Well, I made my way from Rentwood Park to the Marion Police Department. Here soon, the department will be welcoming a new member. He or she won't exactly have a badge, but they will have a leash and 4 paws. I'll fill you in when News 3 This Morning returns. Stay with us.
Well, a local police station is starting a new program to help victims and witnesses who experience a traumatic incident.
Yeah, it's also meant for officers who respond to those calls as a way to ease stress. Our Brooke Slyer is live in Marion with more. Brooke.
Yeah, good morning, Evie and Dave. Well, here soon, the Marion Police Department right here behind me will be welcoming its newest member, a canine therapy dog. It's meant to bring some comfort to locals, especially children. And this is through a new directive created by local officer Jason Pritzker called the Canine Cares Community Therapy Dog Program. The dog will accompany Officer Pritzker to several different types of 911 calls. Those include car accidents, domestic abuse or violence involving a minor, as well as something even more traumatic. He and Chief David Fitz say if it helps just one child, it's worth the effort.
We can bring that dog in to be like, hey kids, you know what? Like, look, this is the dog. Let's play with the dog. We'll talk. Let's just talk about things. We don't necessarily need to talk about what's happening, but just talk. Again, bridge that gap between them and us.
Officer Pritzker will soon be going to Florida to meet this canine therapy dog. They are rescues who exceeded training. Instead of being adopted to a member of the public, the dogs are then donated to police departments. This is a free service to our nation's law enforcement, but the Marion Police Department still needs donations for this canine therapy program, and those will be used for vet care, for food, installing a cage in the patrol car so the dog can be transported to different calls, as well as expanding this program in the future. And again, this is all donation based, so no money will be taken from taxpayer dollars. For more information on this and to donate, I'll have that on our website a little later this morning. That's WSILTV.com under News Through this morning. Now back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks for that, Brooke. Well, also in Marion, Black Diamond Harley-Davidson is teaming up with local healthcare providers for breast cancer awareness. SIU Family Medicine, Heartland Regional Medical Center, and Shawnee Healthcare will provide free on-site breast exams and screenings. The event will be Saturday at Black Diamond Harley-Davidson in Marion from 10 to 3. Limited appointments are available, so you need to pre-register by calling Shawnee Healthcare at 618-519-9200.
Also this Saturday, the Jefferson County Historical Village hosts the Spinners and Weavers Spin In. You can shop around while experts show off the art of spinning fibers. They'll have vintage items, Christmas decorations, tools, and toys. Again, it's this Saturday. Shopping starts at 7 and the Spinners start at 10.
Good Wednesday morning. Look in the eastern sky this morning and you get a glimpse of the full moon. We call that the Hunter's Moon here in October, and it will be the last full moon obviously before Halloween comes up next weekend. But checking in outside right now, we've got a great view of that. There's a live view from Poplar Bluff right now showing that big bright full moon, and it has been bright over the last 24 hours. 46 degrees in Poplar Bluff, not as cold as what it has been the last couple of mornings. Breeze from the south overnight, keeping temperatures warmer. We don't have any fog out there due to some of the air moving around as well. Now that wind will pick up this afternoon, expecting a warm but windy Wednesday ahead for us. So we do expect the daylight hours to stay dry, but by tonight, a few showers in the forecast as our next cold front moves through late tonight. Cools things down through the rest of this week, but it is a temporary cool down as we move into the second half of the weekend. Warm front brings rain back into the region by Saturday night and into Sunday. And more warm weather showing back up in the forecast as well. 45 currently in Mount Vernon, 51 in Marion, 52 in Paducah here as we start the day. Murray at 49 degrees, clear sky over our region. We are tracking some clouds just now starting to show up out across parts of the St. Francis Mountains there in east central Missouri. High pressure built into the Tennessee Valley. We're going to stay on the western side today, so once again, south winds will be picking up this afternoon. Could see some gusts up to about 20 miles per hour, but here's the cold front we're talking about, set to arrive late tonight. It's a pretty big storm system this morning, moving out of the plains and starting to track into the Midwest, but actually dropping some snow back on the backside of it up into the Dakotas and parts of Wyoming this morning. We're Rapid City, South Dakota down to 32, North Platte, Nebraska at 42, Denver, Colorado down to 28. So there's the cold air spilling down the Rockies. We'll see some of that arrive into our region here over the next 24 hours. Today, though, winds stay out of the south, 75 this afternoon in Mount Vernon, 76 in Harris Harrisburg and Carbondale, 77 in Paducah. And if you are tuning in this morning from Poplar Bluff, we expect your temperature this afternoon to top off about 77 degrees as well. Looking ahead to tonight, this is about midnight, a couple showers right out ahead of the cold front. These will be very hit and miss. One of those things where not everybody's going to see rain, and even if you do, it's probably just not going to be very much. Most areas picking up a 1/10 of an inch or less. But as the cold front moves through, winds turn back out of the north and west, and we'll see temperatures tomorrow morning back into the 50s. A mild start Thursday morning, but we won't warm up a whole lot Thursday afternoon. Highs only in the mid to upper 60s. Breeze today out of the south, gusts 20 miles per hour. You may want to try to secure some of the fall decorations. Even into tomorrow, winds will be out of the west and northwest, still expecting gusts close to 20. And there's the cool down we're talking about. Temperatures going just below average. Thursday and Friday will quickly bounce back, though. By the end of the weekend, temperatures trending back above average, back into the mid 70s by Sunday. Saturday, if you've got plans outdoors, I think you're all right during the day Saturday, but Saturday night, some rain starts to make its way back in the forecast. Scattered showers, scattered storms Sunday and into Monday. That's that warm front lifting through and keeps temperatures on the mild side through at least the middle of next week. All right, guys, let's get to our viewer photo of the day, and it is harvest season. It's one of my favorite times of the year. I know I'm a summer lover, but I just love seeing all the colors begin to show up, and great picture from Ava.
Love it.
And Barbara sending us a nice picture of a combine. Looks like cutting some beans there, and appreciate all those viewer photos. You can, of course, submit those right on the Storm Track 3 app.
Love it. Thank you, Nick.